What is going on, everybody? Welcome back here to Heintz Sight. This is episode 27 for your Saturday. And you might be wondering why I'm uploading this early. Well, I got some plans later today, and I'm not going to be able to upload. I wouldn't be able to post that at the designated time around 3 o'clock as I kind of do. So, if you guys are watching this, probably around 12, 1 o'clock is when this was uploaded. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, taking the time to listen to episode 27 here. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to your weekends, as it's, I think, pretty much everybody's favorite day of the week, at least by the majority. It's it being Saturday. Some like Friday, some maybe like Sunday. I'm a Saturday guy. But, I like Fridays too, because you got the weekend to look forward to, you know, work's pretty much, you're all set and done there. But nonetheless, guys, this episode's going to be strictly just breaking down the Steelers and Eagles game from Thursday night. And we got some Steeler trade news that we're going to get into as well after that later on in the show. But we're going to dive right into it here, folks. So, I actually got to sit and watch the game this week. Like I said, I didn't really get to watch the Hall of Fame game last week. But anyway, Steelers played the Eagles. Steelers won 24-16. And we had Jalen Hurts start the game for Philadelphia. We had Mason Rudolph start the game for the Steelers. Now, I was hoping, from the Steelers standpoint, it would have been Haskins. Rudolph started last game. Let's have Haskins roll with the ones. Didn't work that way. But anyway, Jalen Hurts, he didn't really play a whole lot at all. He went 3 for 7. He had like 70-some yards and didn't throw a touchdown. But he had a couple nice passes. He had a pass down the field to Dallas Goedert, their tight end. He beat Devin Bush pretty bad. He probably only played like 2 series. And then Joe Flacco came in. I would imagine Jalen Hurts is the starting guy. They haven't announced it. He's got to be the guy, for Philadelphia, at least to start the year. I'm not really quite sure how high on and how confident Philadelphia is on Jalen Hurts. But I think, you draft him the second round. You played him a little bit last year. I still don't really get the benching, but you got to see what you have. You got to see what you have, and it was a very small sample size from him. On the Steelers side, Mason Rudolph started this game. Here's the thing. Rudolph, he didn't play bad. But what I'm seeing, it's nothing different, folks. He still doesn't really have that pocket presence. He doesn't have, it just looks like he's going through the motion. He looks like a robot. It's the same stuff. It's the same thing, Nothing different that we haven't seen. And as a Steeler fan, and I think just from the Steelers organization, you got to look at Rudolph and be like, this is what he is. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. And for any fan out there that wants to give Rudolph another chance, that thinks Rudolph is, an answer here long term, you're wrong. I'm sorry to break it to you. You're wrong, though. You're wrong. He's been outplayed 2 weeks in a row. Rudolph hasn't led a scoring drive yet. In 2 games he started, he hasn't led a scoring drive at all. And I'm not saying Rudolph's been terrible. He made a couple nice passes yesterday. He had a nice pass at Deontay Johnson to someone else, too. I can't remember. He had a couple duds. He had one freaking suicide pass to Najee Harris when it was freaking like 3rd and 11 or something like that. Nowhere near getting a first down. Throws a check down to Harris. You saw the Eagles defender coming right at him. Nails him in the back. I'm like, why do you even bother throwing that? Why? You're not going to get the first down. You're not really going to get any yardage. And you're just going to let Harris get nailed in the back like that. Okay. Nothing that we are seeing from Mason Rudolph in this preseason is anything different than what we've seen from him the last 2-3 years. So, at this point in time, I don't know what to tell you. I think Dwayne Haskins has signed, sealed, and delivered the quarterback 2 position. Obviously, it's not over yet. The Steelers are still going to want to give some time to these guys. But Dwayne Haskins looked good. He looked good. He played well. Now, for those out there that want to say he's played against second, third string guys, okay, that's true. But look who he's played with. He's been playing with second, third string guys, while Rudolph's been playing with the ones, hasn't led any scoring drive. It's punt, punt, punt. Haskins has led, in all their points combined, 30 points on a scoring drive. He led 3 straight scoring drives for the Steelers, on Thursday night. I don't know what to tell you at that point. But Dwayne Haskins went 16 for 22. He had, how many yards did he have? 170 something. What do you have? 161 yards and a touchdown. 72% completion rating. 115 QBR. So, here's the thing, like, with Haskins is that he looked comfortable. Haskins looked comfortable. He was moving around. He looked natural, And that was one thing about him coming out of college was he does have a strong arm. He is viewed well in regards of having good accuracy. He can move around, a little bit mobile. And he showed that. And he was very confident after the game, and on social media, people were giving him praise around the league. Tomlin said that he was in command, which he was. It was good. And, Rudolph didn't really get a lot of protection. He didn't really get good protection up front either. Haskins did get good protection, and that was one thing aside from him that stood out to me was the Steelers' offensive line getting their second unit on the O-line getting that. But the thing is, Kevin Dotson was on that unit. Played about 50 snaps Thursday night. Looked great. He looked great. Dan Moore has looked really good this preseason so far. They're a 4th-round pick this past year in the draft. There was a lot of room created, especially on that left side, a lot of movement, a lot of pushback. I think that really kind of helped guys like McFarland and Jalen Samuels be able to have some good runs because they had some nice good they had good games too. But Haskins was definitely highlighting the night. Steelers won 24-16. Like I said, he just looked natural. You know what I mean? He was able to move around, get out of the pocket if need be. He stepped up, made some good throws. He had a couple bad throws too, but he made some nice throws down the field, man. And just what I've been seeing from him it's just been better than Mason Rudolph. And I think this is why a lot of fans are rooting for Haskins. He's a former 1st-round pick. He's got good arm talent. He's got the talent there. I think a lot of it, Washington, was character, was the heart not really being there. They weren't really sold on him. And I think just for that situation and kind of, how they were kind of leaning toward him, it definitely probably threw him off and discouraged him and, kind of ruined his morale. And with the Steelers, they actually want him here. He's even said that too. He feels wanted. He knows he's wanted here. And that's the thing. And it's the best situation for him to sit. He's not thrown in. He's not starting right away. Learn, take your time. So that's definitely a good thing. But let's kind of break this game down a little bit. So we had, from the Steelers side, Josh Dobbs also played in the 4th quarter, went 5 for 6. He did throw an interception, though. That's not going to bode him very well. He threw it in like triple coverage. I didn't know what he was throwing to. Jalen Samuels. Had 10 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown, 4.5 yards per carry. Like I said, he was getting some good push up front for him, which is good. And also Anthony McFarland had 9 for 34 and a touchdown as well. And there's been no Benny Snell, folks. Here's the thing. Benny Snell, I don't really know what his situation is. I believe he's just not really healthy right now. Anthony McFarland's taken advantage of it, and Jalen Samuels has been on this team since 2017. I thought maybe Jalen Samuels has kind of run out his welcome here. You know what I mean? They're just, it was just kind of time to move on. But, he's still showing things here, and I think as long as he still shows, he can be a guy from time to time that you might be thrust in there in regards of a certain down or situation or whatever. Maybe you kind of keep him as that 4th running back. But Benny Snell, man, he hasn't played, he hasn't been available, and that's not really boding him too well. So I think Anthony McFarland right now is definitely the front runner in being the 2nd running back. Now, they signed Pete Guerrero. I have no idea who that is, but he had 7 for 20. He had a couple nice runs as well. Najee Harris played like the first series or 2 in the game. He had 2 carries for 10 yards. The thing with Harris, there was one run he had that was like, didn't look like it was going to be a gain, really, of anything, but he just powered through and gained an extra 4 or 5 yards out of it. And I'm like, that right there, I don't need to see any more from him. He had a couple catches. What did he do? No, he had 1 catch for 9 yards. I believe, like in the Hall of Fame game, like the dude was jumping over everybody. It was crazy. So like these first 2 games, I don't need to see any more of Najee Harris. We know Najee Harris is going to be a stud. We know he's going to be a good player long term and down the road here for this team. I don't need to see any more of him. But anyway, Cody White had 5 receptions for 39. He's a guy trying to make the team as well. Rico Bussey, some fans have kind of expressed their liking for him. 4 for 45. Deontay, 3 for 41. Juju, 3 for 22. Anthony Johnson, 2 for 38 with the touchdown catch from Haskins. Rader had a nice catch down the field. So, we didn't really see many of the guys. We saw Juju and Deontay for a series or two. That was really about it. Claypool didn't really play. Washington didn't play. Now, next week, Big Ben's playing, so we definitely expect pretty much all the starters to play, probably on both sides. I'm not quite sure how much they are going to, but I'll get into that conversation a little bit after kind of breaking down this game here. But anyway, the Eagles were leading the way. The Eagles were honestly outplaying the Steelers really the first half, and the Steelers really just kind of shut them down. And, Dwayne Haskins helped lead the way and 3 scoring tries for them. And ended up being 24-16. I thought really on paper, statistically, when you look at the game stats, the game stats. Steelers had 410 total yards. Eagles had 277 total yards. 258 total passing yards to 225. The Steelers, 152 rushing yards, man. When's the last time we saw that? I can't remember. The Eagles had 52. The Steelers outran them by 100. So, the Steelers definitely on paper like this outplayed them much more than what the score was on the scoreboard. But I was just fairly pleased with Haskins. I was fairly pleased with Dotson and Dan Moore. I liked what I saw, like I said, from the little glints of Najee again. Samuels and McFarland looked fairly nice out there. Deontay had a couple nice grabs. Juju, Anthony Johnson, like I said, had that grab from Haskins. Defensively, Devin Bush getting his feet wet. He didn't really do a whole lot. He got burnt by Goddard, but on that one play from Hurts to Goddard down the field. But other than that, he didn't really do a whole lot. He had 2 tackles, but kind of getting his feet wet. Ulysses Gilbert was in there. Highsmith, Edmonds had a bonehead play in the secondary. Jameer Jones, he's a guy as well that's kind of battling for a backup edge spot. He had a sack. And Quincy Roche and Isaiah Loudermilk both got to the quarterback as well. Now, Roche, or Roach, whatever his name is, Jameer Jones, and I can't think of the other guy. Obviously, Melvin Ingram. But there was another guy, Roche, Jameer Jones, and why am I missing the other guy? I don't know why. I can't remember. There was someone else, I believe. But anyway, they're trying to battle out for, another edge spot there, man. And I don't really know, really how that's going to go. I don't know if the Steelers are going to keep 4 or 5. I think 5 is probably that number, especially with Roche and Jameer Jones. But, Isaiah Loudermilk's been a guy that was, praised by a lot of people in regards of his game. He got some good pressure on the quarterback. Justin Lane got an interception. I believe it was sometime in the third quarter. That's finally good to see because Justin Lane, he hasn't really done a whole lot up to here. He's, I believe, a third-year guy now out of Michigan State. He had some issues, an issue in the offseason. We didn't really know what was going to happen to him. But the thing is, they need that, and that's definitely a good look for him, and definitely, hopefully, these next couple preseason games, Justin Lane can continue to show, that he's making some plays, but his interception was a nice play on the ball, so hopefully he can kind of continue to show that. Lafayette Pitts as well, who was a guy that they signed last week, I believe it was after the Hall of Fame game. Former Pitt player, former DB. He had a really nice pass on the ball from Nick Mullins in the fourth quarter, so he got an interception. So, yeah, I don't know. Those are kind of, it was Jordan Berry's night, punting-wise. Presley Harvin only had 1 attempt. Berry had 4. 44 yards on average for him. Boswell didn't play. It was against Sam Sloman, whoever the heck that is. Don't know who that is. He won't be making the team, though. So, I don't know. Yes, Steelers won. Like I said, Haskins looked good. I really like that second unit from the O-line. I liked what I saw from McFarland and even Samuels as well last game. Justin Lane, it was good to see him kind of get involved and things of that nature. Melvin Ingram got some nice pressure. He was in there a little bit. So, from the Eagles standpoint, Flacco as well. I mean, he went like 10 for 17, 170-some yards and a touchdown. But really that touchdown, it was like a check down and, gosh, what was that guy's name? It was, I don't know why I can't remember his name on the Eagles. It was, where is he at? Quez Watkins, 79-yard touchdown, just completely speed, jets off to the races, just passed right through the Steelers secondary. But other than that, I mean, Flacco, I mean, he was fairly consistent with his passes and stuff like that. He's not a bad backup to have. Nick Mullins, I have no idea how this guy's in the league. I have no idea how this guy started games for the 49ers. But he didn't look good at all. But I think it's really Jalen Hurts' job to lose with Philadelphia this time. But yeah, I think as a Steeler fan, it was definitely exciting to see Haskins because I think really all Steeler fans want to see him flourish here. He's in a better opportunity, better place than he was before. First-round talent. He's still young. We'll see what happens. Game 3, Big Ben's going to be starting. Don't know how much. Now, like I said, Dwayne Haskins should have started this game. But with Ben starting this game, I don't know how long he's going to play. But I still think that right after him, it should be Dwayne Haskins. No question about it. Because I think after Ben's done, whether he plays the first quarter or 1 or 2 series, Haskins should definitely come in and still get some time with some of the one guys. A Washington, a Chase maybe, an Ebron, maybe some of the guys up front. Not necessarily saying you have to play Najee, but he should definitely get some time with the ones and after Big Ben's done, at least just a little bit, because he's shown that, he's earned that right to kind of show that he, what he can do with these guys, what he can do against, the Lions and everybody like that. They're playing Detroit here in Pittsburgh. I believe that's Saturday night. So I don't know. We'll kind of see what goes on about it. I don't think, this is a typical Big Ben game where he plays that third game. I don't think he plays more than the first quarter. I think maybe a couple series for him is good enough. Get him out, get Najee out, get all the guys out. There you go. But yeah, it was, obviously it's fun to watch. You want to see him win and things like that. But it was just great to see Haskins. Like I said, Haskins was just really, he just looked natural. He looked comfortable. He looked poised. He was in command. You know what I mean? He was in command. And I don't know. Here's the other thing too, folks. If Rudolph, let's say Rudolph's, Haskins is the second guy. What benefit is it keeping Mason Rudolph as the third quarterback? Because at that point, that's obviously terrible for him. And, I mean, at this point in time, we all know what kind of quarterback he is. But still, if he's the third string guy, I understand you want to have a quarterback under contract next year. But really, what's the point? I mean, if they decide to keep him as the third guy, okay, that's fine. Or if they go with Josh Dobbs, okay, that's fine. But I just don't really see what benefit it does keeping him as third string. He has no future here. He's not going to start next year. I mean, he's not going to be the backup. So Dwayne Haskins is the backup. Signed, sealed, delivered. I don't care what anybody says. It's Haskins. It's Haskins time. So I just don't see what benefit it brings keeping Mason here. I really don't. He hasn't done anything impressive. He hasn't done anything any different than what we've seen from him over the last 3 years. So I just don't really see what's the point in keeping him as the third quarterback. I guess if Haskins would get hurt, I guess I like him a little bit more than Dobbs in a way, but at least Dobbs can move. So I don't know. I really don't know. I think really most fans are just kind of over it. You know what I mean? We all know what Rudolph is. We all know he has no future here. But I don't know. I just don't really see what good it does keeping him as a third quarterback. Just my opinion. But anyway, good win for the Steelers there. Like I said, the Eagles really kind of outplayed them in the first half. I believe at halftime. What was it at halftime? Let me see here. It was, now look at, let me see. All right, so they're not going to let me look at the box score here. Awesome. Let me see. Can I look at... I don't know, I'm just interested to see, I can't remember what it was at halftime. I think it was what was it? It was here we go, game summary. Bear with me. All right, so the Eagles really took a 10-0 lead in the first quarter. Wasn't really looking too good. Like I said, Hurts, he just didn't really play. He barely played. Flacco really kind of led the way with the 79-yard touchdown. and getting them down the field. Then the Steelers 7-10, and then Philadelphia got it was 16-7 at halftime. And then the Steelers really just turned everything around, shut Philadelphia down in the second half, and scored 14 in the third, and then 3 in the fourth, and 24 to, like I said, 16 was the final score there. But yeah, I mean, it was just like I said, I mean, it was great to see the Steelers actually had 152 rushing yards as a team. I can't remember the last time we saw that. Holy smokes. So that's actually a little bit promising, but, you know, I don't know where Zach Banner is. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. If Dan Moore just continues to impress, I mean, let's get Dan Moore in there. I mean, I've never really gotten the hype over Zach Banner. Really, I haven't. I haven't really gotten the hype over him. You know, the Steelers like him. A lot of the fans like him. But he hasn't really done anything in his career where I'm like, oh, man, all right, that's not bad having him as our starting right tackle. I like Kevin Dotson. Like I said, Kevin Dotson, I said this last week. Kevin Dotson's the guy at left guard week 1. He played phenomenal. So he's back, which is great. Kendrick Green, I think, definitely has a lot of potential. Had a shaky game last game, but he's going to continue to grow. Obviously, you got Trey Turner at right guard. He's going to be there. Okorafor's the left tackle for now, and Zach Banner is obviously your right tackle. Really, the tackle positions is kind of the biggest question mark on this offensive line, and that's really what it is this season. It's a walking question mark. They can't get any worse than what they were last year. I think they'll be a little bit better, but I think it's, you know, we got to see, it's going to come down to the tackles. You know, I think inside, I think there's going to be room created. There's going to be physicality. It's younger. You know, I expect the inside to do fairly well, I think. But when it comes to the outside, with both tackles, I don't really know what to expect. I really don't. And that's what I'm saying. If Dan Moore continues to show good things in preseason, he should get an opportunity sooner than later. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But that's your final score, folks, for the Steelers preseason game against Philadelphia. Like I said, they're playing Detroit next Saturday. And, you know, I was just fairly pleased with what I saw with the things that I discussed. You know, I really was. I think everybody should. I don't know. We'll wait and see how Tomlin and everybody go, you know, approach, you know, with Haskins and, you know, his play. And he should be back. He should be in once Ben's out for the preseason. You know what I mean? Once he finishes his quarter, his 1 or 2 series, Haskins should come in, play a little bit with the ones. You know, Washington, maybe a Claypool and Ebron, a little bit of the guys up front. He deserves that. He should do that. Now, there is also some news that happened actually during the preseason game. The Steelers have made a trade for Joe Schobert of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, if you guys aren't familiar with him, he played for Cleveland. I believe he's played 5 years in the league now, but he's been a Pro Bowler. Let me pull him up for you guys here, and let me dissect this move here. Yeah, okay. Good job, Internet. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Joe Schobert. So, he was with Cleveland. Okay, he was with Cleveland from 16, 17, 18, and 19. He played 4 years there, and he was in his 5th year with Jacksonville. He's 27. Now, he got a pretty big deal with the Jags, but the thing is, like, there's options in his contract. If you guys hear that, it's storming again. There's options in his contract where, you know, the Steelers can have him this year, and he can become a free agent next year, or he can, you know, come back after this year, you know what I'm saying? And everything like that. So he does kind of have a little bit of a hefty contract. I believe his salary is $7.5 million this year. But anyway, this is what they needed. I haven't seen anybody complain about this move. I'm absolutely ecstatic about it, especially with Vince Williams retiring. This is what needed to happen, and they went out and did it. You know, he was a Pro Bowler back in 2017. But here's the thing: this guy's a tackle machine. He's an inside linebacker. He's very good in coverage. He's been fairly well in coverage throughout his career. I know last year in Jacksonville he kind of took a step back, but really throughout his career in Cleveland, he's been regarded as a more of a cover inside linebacker. So let's look at this. So 2016, he started 4 games, played 16 games. Really not much to go off there. The next year he was a Pro Bowler in 2017. Started all 16 games, had 144 tackles, 3 sacks. He had 3 forced fumbles, 4 passes defended, had an INT. Okay, you love to see that. Year after that, 103 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 6 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles. That's great. 6 passes defended, 1 pick. Year after that, 2019, 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, 9 passes defended, 2 sacks, 133 tackles. And last year, like I said, kind of more of a, but still, he still had 3 picks. He had a touchdown, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass defended, 141 tackles. Now, on paper, last year, he looks like he was pretty solid, but the thing is he kind of struggled a little bit, I guess, from what I was reading, and he started all 16 games. He's played every game. He's not injury prone. He's always on the field. On paper, last year looks good, but from what I was reading is that, he was kind of struggling in regards of, he did struggle a little bit in coverage. He, just wasn't really acclimating to that Jacksonville defense. And I think, so this is definitely going to be a better situation for him. He's on one of the best defenses in the league. He's playing next to Devin Bush. But this is what needed to happen, folks, because we know Devin Bush is the sky's the limit. He just needs to stay healthy. Robert Spillane filled in fairly well for Bush last year, but he's very limited in coverage. He's not very good in coverage. He can stop the run, but other than that, you needed a guy there at inside linebacker who was good in coverage. And this is what he's been throughout his career. He picks off passes, defends passes, he's a tackle machine. He's able to get to the quarterback, clearly, as an inside linebacker, getting 2.5 sacks a season. As an inside linebacker, you'll take that. So I think really the only concern people had was the contract situation, but the Steelers do have an out next year. But it's definitely possible as well that they don't take an out with his contract and he stays put for the next few years, which would be great. I think Bush and Schobert for the future a little bit is a very nice pairing. So that was definitely a great move. They only gave up a 6th-round pick too, so they definitely fleeced Jacksonville out of that. But that was definitely a move that needed to be made simply because with Williams retiring, it was still kind of thin there. Spillane, he's hit or miss, and obviously Bush coming off the injury, you just want to make sure he's 100%. And then obviously Gilbert, Buddy Johnson, and Marcus Allen, they're going to be battling out for that 4 or 5 spot, depending how many linebackers the Steelers keep. But I was very pleased with this, man. And here's the thing, there's some people in the media who didn't like the Steelers offseason, right? They lost Bud Dupree. We know that. They lost Mike Hilton. They got rid of Steven Nelson. Okay. Well, now you have Alex Highsmith in there for Bud Dupree, who sky's the limit for him. And I understand the Mike Hilton loss definitely sucks. Steven Nelson, it is what it is, but you got guys upcoming that, with Cam Sutton, who's gotten better each year, more of an opportunity. James Pierre has shown some, coaches rave about him. These guys are getting opportunities, and I don't, yes, it sucks not having Hilton there. Nelson, but and Nelson wasn't bad here. But I think, losing them, yes, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't matter. It does matter. But I think you have guys who are ready to step up and grab hold of what's in front of them and try to, really take advantage of the opportunity given to them. Cam Sutton, I don't really have doubts. He's gotten better by the year. I'm not quite sure if they're going to play him outside or inside. James Pierre, a lot of the coaches like him a lot. He's been all right this preseason, but, keep giving him time. He's still young. I honestly expect him to kind of be hit or miss this year. Like I said, Justin Lane, there's still guys battling out like Gilbert, Mullet, Shakur Brown. Who knows? If the Steelers could always make a move, too, for a guy if they need to, but they're still going to have one of the best defenses in the league. If they don't have the number 1, they'll definitely be top 3, in my opinion. But offseason, man, okay. You're going to lose David DeCastro to gain Melvin Ingram. Great signing. Everybody loved the signing. Definitely was needed to help out that edge position. He's going to bring a lot of leadership, a lot of veteran experience. He still can ball. He still can play at a high level. He's in there, okay? So that's awesome. So you lose DeCastro, but you gain Melvin Ingram. You gain Joe Schobert. You gain Trey Turner. And who was the other guy that they brought in? I can't remember. I don't know why. But anyway, gaining those 3 guys. There's one other guy, too, that they decided to bring in that was like, all right, we'll take that. Melvin Ingram, Joe Schobert, Trey Turner. I kind of wish Malik Hooker was a guy. Maybe there was another guy. I'm trying to think. Corner, no. Safety, no. No. Defensive line, no. Receiver, no. I might have been thinking Malik Hooker. But still, losing David DeCastro, who probably isn't going to play this year, isn't healthy, has been on the decline the last 2 years. You're bringing in a guy like Trey Turner, who's a former Pro Bowl, 5-time Pro Bowler, 28 years old, who's younger, who's 100% healthy. Not saying he's going to be great this year, but nonetheless, it should be an upgrade. At least he's playing. Joe Schobert, who's a former Pro Bowler, who everything I just went over, he's had a fairly impressive young career so far, who's a underrated inside linebacker. You're bringing him in to pair with Devin Bush. That's a phenomenal 1-2 pairing there. And now you have Melvin Ingram. That's a win to me. So anyone out there that might be criticizing the Steelers offseason, I don't know what to tell you. To me, they've had a fairly well offseason in my book. Yes, it sucks losing Bud Dupree. We knew he was gone. Mike Hilton, I wish he stayed. Steven Nelson, yes. But like I said, you're replacing that with Alex Highsmith. You're bringing in Melvin Ingram to add to that front seven. You know, you're bringing in Trey Turner, who's already an upgrade over to Castro simply because he's healthy, 100%. And now you bring in Joe Schobert, who's a huge upgrade inside linebacker, pairing him with Devin Bush, great 1-2 punch. You have Spillane right there, and you're going to have a few other guys battle out for that 4-5. Looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good to me. Now, it all depends on what we see from Pierre and Cam Sutton and some of the other corners and stuff like that, but they have the opportunity right in front of them. And a lot of times that's what players need. But that was the news. That actually happened right during the game. It was there was a couple reports coming out about it, and then his wife tweeted it saying Yins are gonna love this. You know, we're looking forward to this. Blah blah blah. And there was just a lot of hoopla, and then more of the blue checkmark people started to tweet that out, and it officially became confirmed last night. Details were just kind of up in the air in regards of finalizing certain things. It was a done deal, and like I said, they were just sorting out the finalization of stuff, and then they just sent the 6th-round pick today to the Jaguars. So to me, A+ trade to me. Definitely a steal to me. Now, of course, you have Brown fans who are, he's not, he's not what he was. No. That's you guys. Keep crying. So, Brown fans and stuff like that, of course, they're going to crap on it simply because now if he went back to the Browns, they'd love it. Oh, top 5 defense. Here we go. But of course, he's on the Steelers. Of course, they're going to crap over it, but I haven't seen one Steeler fan crap over this. Great trade. You didn't really give up anything. You upgrade inside linebacker. You get stronger. You get better. You get a guy who's been a consistent tackler, who's been fairly well in coverage throughout his career, can pick off passes, even get to the quarterback as an inside linebacker. That's going to be great, and definitely a great move for Pittsburgh. Definitely one they needed. So, but guys, like I said, that's what this episode was. We were just going to kind of break down the preseason game. We're going to go over the Joe Schobert trade. And, that's what this show is. So, like I said, I guess kind of wrap it all up. I was fairly happy with the Steelers' win. I thought they played a little bit better than maybe what the scoreboard showed, at least in the second half. Haskins looked really good. Hopefully he's going to get more of an opportunity in regards of playing with more of the one guys. I hope so. He deserves that, but he should be signed, sealed, delivered, the number 2 quarterback. Like I said, I liked what I saw from, a couple, like a Justin Lane, and, Pitts had a nice play on the ball as well, a couple of the running backs. So it was good. Game 3, like I said, this is every year. This is always the starters' game usually. Hopefully everybody's healthy, and we'll kind of, see and everything like that coming out of Game 3. We'll be here to talk about Saturday night, so we'll probably talk about it. We'll probably talk about it Monday. Since it's Saturday night, we'll probably talk about it on Monday. Because, like I said, Sunday or we'll probably talk about it Monday just to kind of stick to the podcast schedule as it is right now. But yeah, so that, and it was good to see. It was good to see Haskins really kind of thrive in that situation. Is definitely a good look for him, good confidence booster, and I know the Steelers are hoping to get what they can out of him and really get that untapped potential that's out of there. He's in the best position he can be right now, and we'll kind of see what he does moving forward, but we'll see. Hopefully he gets some time with the ones as he should. But that's going to wrap it up here, guys. That's going to wrap it up. Like I said, it was just a breakdown. We are going to go over the trades. That's going to wrap it up here for Saturday's show. like I said, as I'm going to keep saying up until football season comes around, we're still going to do Saturday, Sundays. We might do something during the week, might have some extra content during the week. But once we get going with, once the season really starts and stuff like that, Fridays, we're going to talk about everything around the league, all around the leagues. Saturdays, strictly going to be Pittsburgh sports, obviously. Nothing Sunday. Monday, we'll talk about everything that happened over the weekend with football, college football, NFL. Tuesday, obviously, we'll recap Steeler games, or it could be flip-flop depending what day what days the Steelers play. And then, obviously, the Thursday night games will be incorporated in a Friday show. So that's going to be it. Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. That's going to be the schedule going forward for now. Once football season really gets underway, once that first Thursday night game, opening night hits with the Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys, that's when that's going to take into place. So you guys can follow me, Facebook, in Heintz Sight, Twitter, Nate_Heintz, and Instagram, Nathan_Heintz. Keep up with everything channel if you want to interact, things like that. Comment in the comment section. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the Steelers preseason game. Let me know your thoughts on Haskins going forward. Rudolph going forward. Should he be the third string quarterback? Should he be cut? Let me know your thoughts on the Joe Schobert trade. I'd love to know it. Anything else you'd love to talk about, let me know in the comments section. Like I said, if you guys would like to hit that subscribe, that thumbs up, that would mean a lot to me, simply because I'm just trying to keep growing the channel and reach as many sport fans as we can. Whether you're a Pittsburgh sports fan or not, you are welcome here. So tomorrow, we will be back. All things going around the NFL. We'll have preseason games to talk about, a couple things, baseball to talk about, all things around the league we'll be getting into. But anyway, you guys are awesome. Your support's awesome. I always appreciate it. And I hope you guys can enjoy the rest of your Saturdays, your Sunday, and your weekend, everything like that. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. And like I said, just keep an eye out for those things as well. And thank you all again for tuning in. And we'll see you back Sunday for everything else in sports. All right, guys. We'll see you then.